we do not know everything, but we are so willing to learn and open to figuring out better processes for our interest. Educational justice lens, because we want to make sure we're covering every voice that can be heard. And that includes special education, that includes English as a second language, kids of color, just everything that we can think of. We want students too. So I just want to bring that out. If any students are watching, we want your voices too, because you're the ones living in the schools. You're the ones having your experience that we want to try to better if we're able to.
This is Sharonda Smith and my little weekly Enrich Bites about education. And I am online today with Mylynn Cortes, and she is a member of the Northeast Advocates Association, Northeast ISD's Advocates Association, correct? Or did I?
Yeah, Northeast ISD Community Advocates.
I love that. Thank you. So I ran into Mylynn because our lovely children are our friends, and we started talking, and I was like, that is amazing that you got together to do that and advocate and create this thing. And I was like, let me share this with other people, because I know other parents are interested in getting involved in education and in what's going on in their children's education. So Mylynn, my first question: what moment or experience sparked the creation of NEISD Community Advocates? And was there a specific need or issue that made you say something has to change?
Yeah, so I wasn't there for the complete inception of NEISD Community Advocates, but I was there when I found out what the reason was, which was the school closures for Driscoll, Wilshire, and Clare Spring last year that came up during a board meeting, which we found out through email. So we had some members, the founding members, come together, get the group together, slowly start getting different parents from different schools together to come and try to stop the process. I don't say we wanted to, personally, I wouldn't say it was trying to change it, but stop it. We didn't want our schools to close. We loved them very dearly. We tried everything we could, but that definitely was the start of it. We can definitely say that was the sole reason of coming together. And now we are expanding and seeing why we want to stay together for the district and try to better it.
I love that. Especially love when you were like, y'all loved your schools. I often hear the narrative that people are like, they don't like their neighborhood schools or they don't like the public schools in their area. And as being in education for 14 years, I've seen it's hit or miss. Some schools, teachers, and legit, I really think it's just the community the school forms is the biggest indicator if it's a successful school. And if they can form a community where parents feel welcome and such like that, and then it's that back and forth, and oh, it's beautiful for both the community and the parents and the kids and everybody.
Definitely.
Um, my next question. So, for those who are new to the organization, how would you describe the mission of Northeast Community Advocates in your own words?
Yeah, so I'll say it in my own words, and we actually came together and came up with a formal mission also, but in my own words, it's community. It's people coming together for public education for our kids, for their environment, trying to better it, trying to help the strengths that are already there and support those, and then trying to see where the improvements can come in and what we can do to help that pathway. That would be in my own words, but I would like to say what the official statement is, because this is something that we came together and we had a visionary meeting. That's the beauty of this group, where we actually listen to each other. We take an idea and we take either the best idea, multiple ideas, put them together and collaborate to really come up with what's best for the whole group. So let me read it right here. So I just want to, because we took time, we sat and really dissected on what we want to keep, what we really want to stand for. To read this on the side here, NEISD Community Advocates is a grassroots collective dedicated to strengthening connections between public schools and the community, ensuring the students, staff, and caregivers experience a more supportive, inclusive, and enriching public school environment.
Okay. All right. I love that. And so the mission statement, you said y'all came together, made this. It was, of course, inclusive. You have, what were the other main things I heard? What was it?
For the statement, ensuring that the students, the staff, that's the main thing. We don't want it just focused on parents. It has to be the students that are actually in there, the staff that are there teaching, and not just teachers, like the custodial staff, the administrative staff, everyone in the district. We are trying to consider all viewpoints um, with this specific group.
Okay, I got you. I love that. So it's include all stakeholder holders, including the custodial staff, the support staff, and I also am. Well, I took the test for my special education certification. I'm waiting because I'm also taking another test soon, and I can apply for my certifications for all of them at one time versus applying for both of them, which would be at the same time at different times, which is more money. But I've noticed that special education sometimes it can feel like they're taking a back seat and to the gen ed teachers. And oh gosh, a school can't run without all of these people in it. We need the gen ed, you need the special education, you need the support staff, you need the principals, you need all of it. And when I say support staff, I'm including the custodians and the lunch people, all of it. Big part of the environment that these kids grow up in, especially in elementary school. This is no side question. Do you remember any of like the support staff at your when you were in elementary school?
I remember the front office ladies because I would go. I was sometimes tardy, so I definitely remember them. The custodian staff, I don't remember, but I will say I have a bad memory. I can't remember morning. But one of the things about me specifically and why I loved my school that I came from is it is a small group. It was a small school. Like I grew up in Portisville, Texas, so it was one elementary for pre-K through fifth, one elementary for one elementary for pre-K through second, one through third through fifth, one junior high, and one high school where I grew up with my class, and we got to see each other and be a community. We knew family last names, and that's what I loved, which Clear Spring had specifically that I can speak on. So I remember that feeling, that sense of safety, that sense of I know who I'm coming to. Every time I went to a new school, yes, it was a new school, but I knew who I was going with and get support from.
I love that. See, I've been in NEISD my whole life, and so El Dorado, of course, was where I went to school. Then I went to Wood Middle School and graduated from Madison High School. They have always been big. Like to me, Madison was big. I had over 600 kids in my graduating class. Some of them I had legit been in school with since elementary school. And I can say that I wish it were smaller in a sense because I do feel like you probably did get a little bit more one-on-one attention and a
Yes.
little bit more of that community feel.
Of being seen, of being recognized as a student, yes, definitely. Of being able to be called out on our strengths and maybe again our improvements that might be needed as specifically as just one student that the staff got to see throughout. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the front office staff though at El Dorado when I was there. Matter of fact, I used to go in to take my asthma medicine before PE. And one day I walked up there and then I just stood in the doorway and the front lady was like, Sharonda, what are you here for, baby? And I was like, I don't remember. And she was just started laughing at me.
Yeah.
And so I just walked on back to class and hopefully it wasn't my medicine. I don't know what I was up there for. All right. All right. I have another question for you. What are some of the key strategies or initiatives Northeast Community Advocates is using to accomplish its goals and create real change in the district?
Yeah, we're really trying to form relationships with the district. So we're out sending emails. We'll designate someone to take a lead on a task. And um, back in September, we actually met with Micah because we kept asking. We said, hey, can we meet here? Can we talk about this? And he had something that he wanted to talk about as well. So we sat, talked with him. And at the end, he actually asked for part of our two of our members to be part of a committee there with the district. So we are trying by just continuously saying, how can we help? What can we do? We are here, letting our presence be known that we want to be there. For our group, personally, we are actually trying to do a class. It's like a 6 week program on learning how to so I'm losing my words here. Learning how to better kind of fight, and I don't like using the word fight, but support our learning how to work the education system and to our favor to really empower our group and learn strategies on how to approach the school, how to approach the district, what strategies might work then. So that program is actually open to everyone in our group. And that is informational, will be on November 18th at 6 p.m. I want to say. I'll double check and give you those details if you want to share. But yeah, it's going to be a 6 week program. I think over Zoom, I believe it is. I don't have the exact details because I'm not running that specifically, but it's supposed to be really good for us to just do as a group and as individuals to kind of know how we can proceed as a group.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, it can be overwhelming really to even I think that's what caused some parents to like not really become involved when it comes to the district and stuff like that because it's overwhelming. You're thinking to yourself, this is this big organization when it's kind of like politics. We are actually a major part of the organization. And when we look at it as the district is something separate and versus looking as ourselves as something as part of the district, it you have to I believe that's partly part of what that training is going to be. How can we communicate in such a way and also present ourselves in such a way and have the mindset that we are part of this system and we have a voice and an equal part to contribute to it?
That's a big part of this group too, to let people know that they themselves have the power. They have their voice. We will support, but we don't want to go up and speak for you if we don't need to. We want to support you on speaking for yourself at board meetings, um, and using your power. Right now, one of our focuses for the coming year is the voting for the district board members on, I believe it's 3 and 7. So that's something that we're kind of focusing on and seeing if there are any other members or any other community members that might be a great role and fit for a board member because they are the ones that are working our curriculum, our procedures as far as discipline, um, deciding whether schools close or not, whether we keep them. So that is something, again, that we get to vote on and use our power for. And we want to remind people like this is in your hands. Politics are a funny thing, but they're funny because anyone can join in on them. You just have to keep talking.
True, true. All right. I have one more question for you, Mylynn. So, for parents, educators, or community members who are watching and want to take part, what are the easiest ways for them to get involved and support the work you're doing?
Um, so I will say, be in touch with us, be a part of the community. We have a web page where you can read thoroughly what our values are, which is collaboration, because we work together. That's the main thing that I really enjoy from this. It's humility, knowing that, like example for this class, we do not know everything, but we are so willing to learn and open to figuring out better processes for our interest, educational justice lens because we want to make sure we're covering every voice that can be heard. And that includes special education, that includes English as a second language, kids of color, just everything that we can think of. We want, and we want students too. So I just want to bring that out. If any students are watching, we want your voices too because you're the ones living in the schools. You're the ones having your experience that we want to try to better if we're able to. And then solidarity. We want to make sure that we know that we are doing this all together. So if you go to the website neisdcommunityadvocates.com, there will be an option to become a member, to join the WhatsApp, which also that's one of the things too. We are really just trying to refine our group and see if WhatsApp is the best source of communication. That's something that I'm taking the lead on. So maybe students have a better source of what they would prefer to communicate on than WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever. So go to that website, click that link, become a member. It's simple information as far as who you are, and then there'll be an option to join the WhatsApp.
I love that. So Mylynn, also I'll post the link to the website and such on the posting for Facebook when the video is done and stuff like that. Because I'm like, I love this. I want people to become involved in their lives, be involved, like be involved in the community groups, be involved in the education, be involved in the politics. Involvement helps give you power. Recognize that you have power. I for a long time believed that the individual can't do anything. So why even try?
I was gonna
I,
say
I
better
think
in numbers, and don't feel like you have to come in with these blazing ideas. Sometimes we just have kindles of ideas and we work on it, and that's the power of community. Bettering an idea, an interest, a goal, the desire that we all have. So don't feel like I don't want people to feel pressured and that they have to come in because I at a lot of the times, and I had this conversation with Nikki, who is in our group also. um, I don't feel adequate enough sometimes to be in this group. Sometimes I'm wondering, what am I doing? But I'm showing up. That's the difference. I'm putting my ideas in when I can. I'm adjusting things when I can, and that's the thing. Just show up when you can.
I love that. And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end our episode for today. I thank you so much, Mylynn. Thank you so much for sharing. And I am indeed going. I'm a parent of Northeast ISD plus a student, and I've worked for the district. So yeah, definitely
Thank
getting
you,
involved.
and thank you for the space. We need people who want to engage and share voices like this. So I appreciate you doing work.
Thank you.